Donald Trump never fails to keep people talking. And this time, it's not about politics or golf. It's about the possibility of him pardoning Sean Diddy Combs. Yep, that Diddy. The one currently facing a whole storm of serious allegations, including abuse and trafficking. Now, Diddy says he's innocent. But regardless of what the court decides, there's talk that Donald Trump could swoop in and save the day. And let's be real, we didn't have Trump considers pardoning Diddy on our 2025 bingo card, but here we are. At a recent press conference with none other than Elon Musk, who may or may not still be Trump's buddy, Trump was asked directly whether he'd consider pardoning Diddy. And instead of giving a hard no, Trump said something interesting.
I know people are thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. I think some people have been very close to asking. First of all, I'd look at what's happening.
And then came the classic Trump line. He hadn't followed the details, but what he had heard sounded nasty. That's one way to put it. And it's not just headlines and rumors. People close to Diddy have testified under oath. His ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, described moments of abuse. Former assistants also painted a dark picture, accusations of threats, drug use, and seriously disturbing behavior. Now, here's where it gets even murkier. Trump also brought up his old relationship with Diddy.
I haven't seen him, I haven't spoken to him in years. He used to really like me a lot, but I think when I ran for politics, that relationship busted up.
Uh-huh. Sounds like there's some history there. Trump even added, "You become a much different person when you run for politics, and you do what's right." Is that code for I won't do it, or just Trump being Trump?
Working for Diddy.
Absolutely.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. Is he a good guy?
I don't want to answer that
Oh,
question.
wow, I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
He went on to say that pardoning Diddy might not be the right move for the country, but then he admitted that Diddy and others would be happy if he did go through with it.
If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me.
So it's all still in the air. Trump said he'd have to look into it, but that was enough to get social media buzzing. One person posted, "Wow, if he does, that would be a disgrace." And that wasn't coming from a Trump hater. Some of his own supporters are side-eyeing this one hard. To be fair, Trump has done this kind of thing before. Remember when he pardoned reality TV couple Todd and Julie Kreisley, who were convicted of fraud?
I want to thank President Trump. I want to thank the administration.
That didn't exactly go over quietly. So if he goes ahead with a Diddy pardon, expect fireworks. And guess who else had thoughts? 50 Cent. Yep, he jumped into the mix too.
Surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is.
He posted on Instagram that he's planning to reach out to Trump about Diddy. In the caption, he reminded people that Diddy had said some pretty harsh stuff about Trump in the past. And Trump, as we all know, doesn't exactly let that kind of thing slide. In a follow-up post, 50 suggested Diddy's past remarks might come back to bite him. He even shared an article accusing him of nuking Diddy's chances at a pardon. And as Diddy's trial unfolds, the drama is only just beginning. And guess what? Some big-name celebrities might be getting nervous too, because of their past close ties with Diddy. So, who could end up being dragged into the spotlight? Let's start with a surprising one, Leonardo DiCaprio. Who would have thought that Hollywood's golden boy could be linked to such shady stuff?
Come on, Leo, mate, you know.
Well, in the court of public opinion, just being at one of Sean Diddy Combs' infamous gatherings, like those legendary 90s white parties, means you might be guilty of witnessing or even participating in some questionable behavior.
And you threw a house party and I got the footage, okay? Look at this. Now, who has this many people at their house?
Remember that snapshot from 1999 showing a then 24-year-old DiCaprio grinning and sipping drinks alongside Diddy and others? Yeah, that one has made a comeback. One Twitter user even remarked, "Birds of the same feathers flock together," seemingly throwing shade at the Great Gatsby star.
What the hell is going on here?
With all the allegations piling up against Diddy, it's no wonder people are speculating about Leo's involvement. One person even said, "I know he's terrified right now. But is Leo really sweating over being dragged into Diddy's mess? Who knows?"
Wow, you can't believe what you read.
However, new reports are coming out that say he's trying to distance himself from the music mogul. According to a source who chatted with the Daily Mail, Leonardo DiCaprio has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. They stressed that while he hit a few parties in the early 2000s, like everyone else, he's not linked to any of the alleged bad behavior.
So it was one of the worst experiences of my life.
But with so many celebrities getting pulled into this drama, can we really take that at face value? It definitely raises some eyebrows, doesn't it? Diddy has partied with big names from all over, including Naomi Campbell and Jay-Z. In a 2018 Vogue 73 Questions interview, Diddy even called Leo his favorite party guest.
Who's the person that's #1 on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
But the source insists that the parties DiCaprio attended were nothing like the wild ones described by Diddy's ex, Cassie, which apparently involved some pretty shocking activities.
How the hell did that happen? I have no idea.
The insider added, he has nothing to do with that world, so for anyone to think he'll get dragged into this because of a few old photos is just ridiculous. The last time DiCaprio showed up at a Diddy bash was in November 2019 for the music mogul's 50th birthday.
This film took really everything out of me.
But you're good at relaxing and doing...
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Recently, another source said DiCaprio is actively trying to distance himself from this whole scandal.
A slight problem here.
This notorious bachelor has been working hard to shake off his party boy image and become more of an environmental activist. But let's be honest, he's still known for dating younger models, and he's pretty sensitive about discussing his past.
I would never say something like that.
Next up, one of Diddy's most famous exes, Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer and Sean first started dating towards the end of 1999 after they met on the set of her music video, If You Had My Love. The pair attended the 2000 Grammy Awards together, and their romance made international headlines. While they made an iconic couple, unfortunately, things behind closed doors weren't so glamorous. The singer suspected Diddy of being unfaithful during their 2-year relationship, and she felt like she lost herself in the whirlwind of distrust. Looking back on their relationship, Lopez admitted, "It was the first time I was with someone who wasn't faithful. I was totally crying, crazy, and going nuts. It really took my whole life in a tailspin. I never caught him, but I just knew." The couple broke up at the end of Valentine's Day in 2001. Although they had a rocky relationship, years later, the pair have nothing but respect for one another. Diddy shared, "I've been blessed to go out with a couple of great women, and she was one of the great ones." Now, 23 years later, J-Lo might get dragged back into Diddy's legal issues. Remember that infamous shooting in New York in 1999?
Everybody was booked, including Jennifer Lopez. They spent the night in the precinct.
She was crying a lot. She was a mess.
Diddy and J-Lo were there when things got heated, and Diddy's friend, Jamal Shine Barrow, ended up firing a gun. Barrow was sentenced to 10 years in prison, while Diddy got a day of anger management. J-Lo wasn't charged at all.
I want to say to you all face to face, I had nothing to do with a shooting that night in a nightclub.
Fast forward to now, Diddy's facing new accusations, and the old case might reopen.
J-Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened, because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury.
One victim insists Diddy was responsible and is willing to have the bullet removed from her face to prove it. And, with a federal probe underway, J-Lo might be subpoenaed. Well, seems like Jenny from the block may become Jenny from the jail. Crazy how the past can come back, right? So, do you think J-Lo's silence is the right move? Or should she finally speak out about Diddy? Let us know in the comments.
Whoa, why did I do that?
Then there's Ashton Kutcher. Back in 2009, Kutcher was spotted at Combs' notorious annual white party alongside his then-wife, Demi Moore. A decade later on the show Hot Ones, Ashton spoke about his friendship with Diddy, sharing, "We became fast friends. We used to just hang out and watch football together." When pressed about the rapper's legendary parties, he coyly added, "I have a lot I can't disclose. I can't disclose that one either."
So, I can't tell that one either.
Amidst these swirling rumors, both Ashton and Mila were seen separately with their children in Los Angeles. Ashton took their son, Dimitri, to flag football practice, while Mila escorted their daughter Wyatt to a dance class. Some took these separate outings as a sign of marital discord, fueling the breakup gossip even further. However, sources close to the couple have been quick to shut down these claims. An insider labeled the rumors as absolutely ridiculous and false, emphasizing that Ashton has no involvement in any of Diddy's alleged misconduct. "He doesn't belong in this conversation," the source stated firmly. Another added, Ashton has only seen Diddy at a handful of social and business events, all documented by the media. But each rumor has its truth in it. Speaking about business, another big name who's crossed paths with Puff is none other than Jeff Bezos. Yes, the Amazon mogul. It turns out that Bezos' company, Amazon Studios, helped promote Diddy's media platform, Revolt TV. While it seemed like a standard business move at the time, people are now questioning whether Bezos knew about Diddy's more controversial activities. Did Bezos know what was really going on behind the scenes, or was he just in it for the business side of things? It's hard to say, but the questions are piling up.
And what do you look for when you're hiring people other than that, ready to go to war? What are the other kind of criteria?
Somebody that is not intimidated by me, not intimidated by the situation, not intimidated by life.
While we're on the topic of billionaires, here's another surprise. Diddy's also been connected to Elon Musk. Social media is buzzing after people learned about Diddy's alleged $10 million investment in Musk's platform, X, especially with all the serious allegations against the rapper.
Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15.
In a new book, Character Limit, authors Kate Conger and Ryan Mack spill that Musk was actually bragging about his friendship with Diddy. Looks like they're closer than we thought, huh?
I shouldn't have said that.
Now, Diddy stepped down from his role as executive chairman of Revolt right before Cassie Ventura, his ex, filed a lawsuit with some heavy accusations against him. Around the same time, he was also confirmed as an investor in X, joining other big names like Jack Dorsey and Larry Ellison. Oh, and just in case you forgot, Musk and Diddy were even spotted hanging out at a Dave Chappelle show in 2022.
Now with the internet, it's like having a nervous system. It's like any part of humanity has access to almost all the information of humanity.
But here's where it gets even messier. Musk recently stirred the pot by sharing a report that outlined over 120 claims against Diddy. He asked, how many people in music and entertainment knew about this? But before Musk could get too comfy in the spotlight, music critic Anthony Fantano clapped back, pointing out that infamous photo of Musk with Ghislaine Maxwell. Talk about awkward.
Because a guy as important as you, who makes changes, could use your powers for evil and not good. The fact that...
Now I want to hear from you. Who do you think could have been Diddy's real accomplices? And who do you believe was just caught in the crossfire?